Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Moody here with yet another ranking and review video. And I shouldn't say yet another because it's been a minute. My apologies. But as many of you know, I've been away here in Dallas, Texas, enjoying the state fair. Nah, not really enjoying working, but it's been a good time. And it's been a good time opening up some Joes in my hotel suite. I'm pretty sure Hotel Con is coming to a close. Alright, kicking off the epic ranking video with number 7. That's right, it's the GIJoe Port-A-Potty, aka the Steel Core Sentry and Modular Defense Post number 175 in the line. In this video, we're going to go over aesthetics and accessories. Articulation is not going to be a big deal, maybe for some of the latter figures, some of the newest molds, but it's GIJoe Classified. You know, this isn't Mondo or you know, Jada Toys or anything like that. So I'm not going to spend too much time on articulation just to make the videos pretty quickly. If all these sets I'm ranking are at least deluxe in some form or fashion, no single releases, no single figure releases, that is. So here we are with a Steel Core Sentry Mod Defense Post GIJoe. The MDS is a clear retooling of the Cobra modular fortification. And right away we have a comparison between the two Porta-Johns. Of course we have the Joe one next to the Cobra one. I don't have my collection with me. That would just be insane. It's crazy enough that I got all this stuff shipped. Thankfully now I don't keep boxes. I will keep Pythonas because she's a Comic-Con exclusive, but everything else I chuck out. So it's going to be a lot easier to throw all these figures in my backpack than have boxes and boxes of toys that I would have had to ship back and pay for and stuff like that. So that's how we're getting it done. That said, we'll take a look at the Cobra Porta-John in higher detail. I don't have my usual ring light, so this thing might fall over, might get crazy. Just brought a little portable one. You can see the details there, the GIJoe star, red stripes across, so you got the same quality that we have. It's a clear repaint and all the ridges. I was very, very high on the modular fortification for Cobra. Loved it to death, but this is just a clear repaint. They didn't do a whole lot. GIJoe mod system on there. And then this actually brings me to a point. Shout out to my guy Bobby B. He's the king of reviews. With that said, he did suggest this ladder being strapped on, but I do have an issue with it. While it does create more sturdy durability, it doesn't sit right on here. It's too tall. So snap that on. And see, now it's lifted in the bottom. And if you were to try to snap it on here, it would just lift the roof off. See how it's already coming off? And then when you got it here on a flat surface, it wants to just push this up. Now, it looks a little stable now, but see how it's lifted on the bottom? So either way, it's going to be lifted. It's either going to lift the roof or this. Do love the idea, but unless you want to have the ladder kind of hanging like that, you got to constantly push these down. That said, I do agree with Bobby that this one feels sturdier than the Cobra one. Take that off. Does have the caution on the ladder. Loving the green for sure. We got that same weapons rack inside here. I'm not going to go through the placement. I only got my one here. I do have two because you can build a whole base like you see on the screen like I did with the Cobra one. And the best thing about this mod defense post is that now I have a great backdrop for the review, and it's not just a hotel count. That said, now we're going to look at some of the accessories for the mod system. And you got these GARD missiles. I do like the tannish browns that go with that and the yellow. So just giving some new colors, kind of goes with the whole steel core portrait there. And of course this articulates up and down. And I mentioned the dual 50 cal that we have from the Vamp, and they included that. So at least they tried to do something. It is all reuse that we've seen. Remember the ammo boxes, make sure you got your bullets like that, or otherwise you'll get punished in the comments. That happens to me quite often, especially with the Striker. But yeah, I think this is the way you got to do it. And it's not the greatest system in the world, but it's fine. Taking the twin turrets, and this one has a lot of trouble. It should be a lot taller, and then it's too high to go in here. I don't know. There's a reason this thing is number 7. Of course, we've got the sandbags. This time they're a nice OD green. We got tan ones that came with the Cobra. And yeah, I like these. It's not bad. They're kind of actually green on camera and a lot more yellow, lime green in person, but they're pretty cool. And lastly, we'll get into the very Halo-inspired Steel Core Sentry. He's easily the best Steel Core figure there is. I mean, you gotta love the camo pattern that's there. He's definitely 100% repaint of the Steel Core Commander, part of that 2-pack with the Twilight Guard. We'll mention him a little later on, but just getting into some of the specifics of it all. Easy repaint. I do love the tan there. Knife sheath goes in there. And this is so Halo. SCS. I don't know if this was the point, but these masks, we said that when we first got Grunt. When he the alternate mask, like, what up with the Halo? Got the Joe Pro there. Shoulder pauldrons. This one was pretty loose when I was messing around with it. Posing him with a gun, but right now it seems to be fine. His upper torso is loose. Yeah, it's a little weird. See, kind of got the bobblehead upper torso thing going on, but yeah, I love the camo pattern. And we've seen this figure before. It's just a repaint, but it's a damn good one. Tony knocked it out of the park with the paints, if that's what he did. We've got our XMLR. It's a tan one. It's a really cool one. And then on the sidearm, we've got the Retro Duke Gen 5 Glock. One of the better guns in classified, I would say. Handguns, sidearms. That fits in snug right there. And before I forget, the Steel Core post does have this illuminated light. It's just a repaint from what we had with Cobra. Articulates a little bit up and down. It's not a working light like the Gridiron one. And then you got your radar, which is just a flat green, just like the other one was a flat black. So they both fit on posts. With them there. However you like. And then finally we got comparisons with the entire Steel Core family. Which one of these are your favorite in the line? Let me know in the comments below. But as far as whiskeys for number 7, Steel Core Sentry and Mod Defense Post, I can't go any higher than a 3.5. Alright, number 6 in the classified ranking video here, we got Sergeant Slaughter and Little Merc. That's right, Mercer. He shouldn't be little. It's just that next to Slaughter, he's so damn big. 173 in the line. Slaughter, the big deal on him is the new face sculpt. So blow the whistle. Doo, doo, doo. It ain't going to come out. Yeah, we got a little bit of that copper gold paint on the glasses itself. That's a shame. Yep, that's too bad. Paint rub on clear. So, man, these glasses are really brutal. I didn't think they were that bad until I started doing this review. Wow. I don't know what's up. Are your glasses these bad? Let me know in the comment. We've got a new Iraq heel turn beret inspired by my guy Chris Scott and Mark Gerwig over there at Joe Fest when they did the custom class for the Cobra Warlord Slaughter. So that might have been it. That and plus the whole WWE run when he turned bad guy. So pretty cool new addition to Slaughter there. Alright, and it helps a little bit to have his campaign cover on. So, you know, we've seen it before, but maybe not in this color, a desert camo. We'll talk about the body in a second. It looks pretty good. Overall, I like it, and it kind of holds those glasses in there on the air, so maybe a little bit of a cheat code. And Bob doesn't just have one new look with the beret, he's got his 8-point utility cover as well, so looking good there. Yeah, the glasses again, not the best, but if you mess around with it for a little bit, you'll make it work. And that's in order. Another cool thing, we got Slaughter on a new upper torso. It's heavy duties upper body there, but we've got all new legs. Let's take a look. And this new camo, I mean, it's kind of like an Oreo caramel camo pattern, I guess you would say, but looks really dope. I love it. But yeah, all new legs. You get the blouse, boots, perfectly bloused. That's how you get it done. That's nice right there. Not tucked in, not all the way down. And you got the grenades because he comes with a grenade launcher, so you got grenades on the back. And you got this whole bandolier. I probably have it wrong. Can let me know. I think the bullet would face away. Giant blade. And there, little gummy. Whatever is what it is at this point. And then in the other holster, we've got a shiny AF Colt Python 8-inch revolver. That thing is massive, and it's a perfect gun for Slaughter, I think, because he used to just beat people up in the cartoon, so it's cool to see him with arms that match. And then if you were wondering, we got the same stoic Slaughter face that we've got with the other two Slaughters. I'm going to keep them like this way. But yeah, I love what I see. It's the 2006 GIJoe exclusive Slaughter that we saw with Desert Camo, as you see on the screen. And then just more details. He's got a bracelet and a watch. All right, next up is Mercer, and as you can see, he is far from the Colossus sized Mercer that we've got in the Energon universe. And yeah, he may be accurate to G.I. Joe, the movie. Compare that to other Cobra Vipers. And as you can see on the screen, Mercer does have retro Viper legs. And that all comes with Zartan's torso and Copperhead's arms. Grabbing the figure and looking more into detail. Great reuse, by the way. Just too bad he's a little shorter than we wanted him to be. Accurate height again for movie, but it's been so long. And if this was a 3-pack with Taurus and Red Wolf, then I think the height wouldn't have been a problem. But dude, he's next to Slaughter. Just for reference, this is Colonel Hawk. So as you can see, he's a good sized character. You know, Colonel Hawk is a colonel, and he's not going to be a short guy. He's going to be about 6 foot. You can stand up Mercer straight here, and yeah, he's taller, but this Slaughter is just freaking massive. I mean, is Big Lob going to be this tall? Now, digging into the new face sculpt, we got these shooter glasses here, and they're pretty cool. Take those off, and yeah, I don't think I was that thrilled with this face either. It's kind of menacing, but kind of deranged, and not looking like a good guy. Looking like a serial killer, in my opinion. This face is better, but man, he just looks like he needs to be tagging alongside Ludwig Borga, Gunther, and yeah, he's just got like a total Ivan Drago face to it. He's so Russian. That's why I used the word Colossus earlier, but I do like the no Cobra patch there. And then in the sheath, we've got a Beretta 92 FS, semi-automatic. Pretty good. Got the pouches there. Like I said, Copperhead arms, got arm braces. These things tend to fall. Well, they did give him, you know, gave him some muscles. Got some gauntlets and gloves matching on both sides. You got a, looks like a Cobra watch in a way. And it just says 1 o'clock. All right, looking at the back, same backpack we've seen a million times, Footloose, etc. Almost forgot the tats on here. Spider webs. Of course, this lousy knife sheath. Forever gonna fall. And there's the blade. Oh, see? This is bad. Functionality on this figure 2-pack, not the greatest. Now some good news. Slaughter comes with some good guns. Get this M4 with the M203 on it. Movable mag. Looks good. I really like this. It's a gummy stock, but nice. Overall, not too bad. Looks good. Really good for classified. You get a pump action grenade launcher. That's always fun. These don't actually come out, but they're good. Kind of a PVC there. I like the tans. I like the theme. You know, this on this GM94. You got a BP12 bullpup. It's got the drum magazine there. Vertical foregrip on here coming up. So pretty dope. Solid, not gummy at all. Keeps with the theme. Got this Arc Flash Labs EMG coil gun. So pretty good. Little gummy, but not horrible. Pretty steady. Lest we forget, they each come with fisties, punching out troopers, and then the swagger stick. Cobra swagger stick. Alright, end of the day, this Marauders 2-pack is pretty solid, but I think it's a little disappointing. We're expecting Mercer to be the star of the show and actually end up being our third Sergeant Slaughter that takes the cake here. Mercer's solid. It's just not wowed by him. The reuse is good. Going 3.75 on the whiskey scale for this 2-pack at number 6. Next up on the list is number 5, the MMS, baby, mobile missile system with Colonel Hawk. Anything OG-13 the folks want. And I get it. I don't want to spend too much time with this. I feel like there's been a lot of reviews. And not only that, we had the heat-seeking missile thingamajig, the Cobra HMS, and this is just a repaint. It's a fantastic repaint, though, and that's why it's at 5 and not like 7. They did a great job. And clearly, this contraption presents a lot of challenges when you don't have your best equipment, you're not at home, you're not in your production studio, your office. So I'll just give a quick look for those who don't have it yet, or maybe have the HMS in past. Got all kind of logos there. And then here's a fun one. Wherever there's trouble, over land and sea and air. But apparently not sea, because we have nothing. G.I. Joe is there. Here we go. You got your boopity beeps there, a little bit of paint on the buttons, so always cool to have that. And just in case you don't know, stand back. All right. You might get a blurry camera if you don't stand back. You can move up the posts. There, the foot pegs. All kind of nice designs. They always do a fantastic job with all the tampos, and they're getting accurate tampos. These are rubber tires, so, and we can wheel that out. You got the 3, you got the Danger 3167. And that's what it looks like underneath. I'll pull these up and then you can tow it. You might remember this from the HMS and your Stingers. Inside there, that I don't know if that's new. I wish I had the two to compare. This would be so much better. That's why I'm not going to bother, because I don't have the HMS with me. Of course, I am not home. And you got that realistic, or that aluminum, and then you can fold that up. So, and of course, this will go on the back of your vamp or your off striker. Little US there. Feels nice. And then you got the turret there. Goes up and down. Pretty awesome. They did a wonderful job. I loved the HMS. I think I gave it like the highest. I mean, not too many people give things scores when they review toys, but I had it so high. I mean, I liked it better than the Vamp. People thought I was crazy, but just the functionality of these things are fantastic. That's why, even as a repaint, I'm going to reward this a high score. All right, and before we get into our younger Colonel Clayton Abernathy in the background, let's just go over a few of these accessories. In addition to those stabilizer stands, of course, that are removable in the control panel, we have these Patriot missiles. There's 3 of them. You can see the other 2 somewhat in the background. And they're based on those Raytheon MIM-23 Hawk missiles, of course. So you also got blast effects. And the big problem here is they have it backwards and they did not fix it. I mean, I get saving costs, but come on, it's paint. I mean, moving forward, they should be fixed anyway. So to give us this release was straight up, the smoke clearly has to be in the back. So just to give you an example, this is the fire coming out of the roaring, engine and exhaust. And then this is the smoke that leads to it. It's backwards. Hey, mistakes happen. That's cool, but to not fix them, I get it. It's probably not up to Lenny and Tony and the team. It's up to the dollars and countless, but just moving forward, just why not set a precedent? Yeah, I don't know. Either way. All right. And then we got blast effects that you'll see in the new made-to-order X-Men 97 Apocalypse, 12-inch Apocalypse. Yeah, it was crazy seeing, I think it was this one, smaller one. Crazy seeing GIJoe Classified effects thrown in there. It'll be interesting to compare if they really are. I don't know, they were in the digital render and some of the cool photography. So, and then yeah, we've seen all of this, and they're cool. I mean, I don't really understand some of the how it works, but whatever, it's toys. Not the General, but Colonel Hawk, younger blonde over the brunette. By the way, it doesn't say Colonel on the package, but he was Colonel Hawk back in the day, in the good O-ring days. So he's got that short blonde flat top look. So we've got yet another guy you can use for, Steve Rogers. Not as handsome as Steve Rogers, I don't think. So maybe, not too bad. And then of course, Colonel Hawk is essentially a grunt repaint. Just with Xandar's vest, Xandar, one of the best figs of the year. So like the holster there, everything else is pretty much one-to-one grunt underneath, just painted differently. So yeah, I mean, that's how it was in the O-ring days. So real cool. It's got twin holsters. Yeah, it's an excellent basic OG-13 figure. Diving through the weapons real quick. XMLR, Sunbow rifle. Then we got the M16, one of the better guns in the line, although it does have the AK-74 stock and Colt 4x scope. So pretty cool, classic Hawk gun though. Then we got the Greaser gun, or Heckler & Koch MP5. We've seen it before, I believe with Stalker. It's got the 1950s straight mag, which I have on him, I think. And then you get the knife on the sheath, and then this weapons backpack, and then he has two sidearms as well. So interesting that he would have the two. Did have one issue here trying to get one of his pistols in there. This little peg hole. Oh, there we go. See, the whole thing. Tony's Figs knows what I'm talking about when you tell people things don't work and then you do it on camera and it works perfectly. And then the back holster there. So yeah, he's pretty equipped. And you know, for an OG-13 guy to give him all the black overlays, everything looks good on him, the black boots. So real sharp looking figure. Again, probably an underrated guy. Yeah, we dig it. And then lastly, we have this ACH with the clear visor, the classic visor. Again, the black really allows this to pop. And it's just a great modern interpretation of the OG Hawk. So, yeah, I dig it. I mean, I didn't think I would love this guy as much. I was like, oh, boring, green shirt, like Hawk, not as fun. But nah, he's super dope. It's crazy because I was going to go 4 out of 5 of the set, but I'm going to go 4.25. I'm going to go 4.25. For a repaint, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I think I gave the original almost a 4.75, but just for a solid one-to-one repaint and just nice work with giving us Colonel Hawk, adding the blacks on top of the grunt. But yeah, I dig it. So number 5, a very, very strong number 5, is the MMS with Colonel Hawk. And this is where I get really upset that Desert Scorpion and Scorp 1 on 25, whatever the hell it's called, are number 4. If you told me this was your favorite on the list, I would not be mad at you. If you said it was second, I'd probably agree with you. If you said it was third, you're on the money. Somehow this made 4, and I'll explain why. I know you guys hate me already, but number 180 in the line, Desert Scorpion and SKRP 1ON 20. I was like 0 ON 25. Lots of numbers and stuff, but that's cool. They gave it a mechanical cyborg name, even though it ended up a mutated scorpion. Lenny tricked us back in the day. He's like, well, it's not going to be a mutation, and it's not going to be like OG mutation. It's not going to be, so we all guessed cyborg, and it was a mutation, but therefore it was connected to Dr. Mindbender and all that, even though we didn't see the doctor in the art. But whatever, we'll get into that in a little bit. This is by far the most Star Wars Black Series classified figure yet. And you'll see why. I mean, just look at the tunic, removable faceplates, and so forth. Without further ado, it's a Desert Scorpion mini review. Let's log in. And here we have another freaking amazing figure. And there's a reason why on a Toy Kind of Mood, at the end of the year, we make lists for just G.I. Joe and then a list for like everything else, when it comes to best of the year. Because there's so much quality. And this all comes at once. It's like, oh, it's October. Here's the whole 70% of the lot coming at you and every day. But first things first, we're going to look at the Get Over Here. Yes, Mortal Kombat Scorpion inspired protective goggles and mask. But of course, it's inspired by the OG. Lots of newness. All new tooled head there. The torso is new. Look at the stripes going down. That tan weathering. I mean, he really is. They did say he was a lot like a scorpion when they teased it before he came out, and in many ways in one. This is an amalgamation of everything scorpion you can think of. I haven't even noticed that there's a Cobra logo on his shoulder. So he's even got a tat there. I love the skin tone. It's almost like a Middle Eastern Persian. He can survive the storms, sandstorms that is. Look at the gauntlet. Very MK-like, but honest to what G.I. Joe is all about. Torso again, all new. Lower legs are all new. And then the lower arm here on the gauntlet's all new. This waist piece we've never seen before. Kind of a Batman utility belt in a way. And you get the knife sheath there. Might as well just show it. And I love the black knives because they have like a little bit of a tint there, and that can work. It slides right on in. You get this nice satchel belt, like a leather belt. I don't think it comes off, but yeah, pretty good. And you get sculpted grenades there. And yeah, then these boots are all new. Again, very Mortal Kombat-like. Pays homage to classic G.I. Joe. And we have reuse of the OG Storm Shadow Unclassified line, number 35, upper arms. And then we have version 4, Snake Eyes, which we just reviewed in our last video. Number 165, we have his upper legs. Of course, I can't go away without talking about the soft goods cape. Yeah, we have another figure in this ranking video that has soft goods and is tremendous. And we've got some here. We even got the Havelock that Dusty should have had this whole time, but maybe it wasn't in the budget. Now we're going to be definitely getting it. I don't know if this creates like a little bit of a hood. Yeah, that's right. But probably better when we take the helmet mask off. We'll show that. But yeah, we get the Havelock. So we definitely need a retro Dusty pretty soon, I would say. Or like Dusty in a 2-pack or something like that. And overall, just fantastic paint. The whole color scheme is amazing. Man, why is this number 4? Moody, you suck. You guys all ready for the big reveal? You can't wait, can you? It is a character well known in the G.I. Joe verse. And it is another bearded, handsome man. And that plugs right in there. And yeah, that's just fantastic. So I think... See, we got the Havelock underneath there, and then that hood. I don't know how good this hood will fit over because of the antenna on the helmet there. So that kind of sticks out. There's no way to really rid of that, huh? So I'm not sure how we can kind of get that chic-y baby look, but yeah, tug on it a little bit. There we go. Okay, there we go. Pretty dope. So, yeah, sick. And very handsome, very bearded. Like I said, kind of like got a Persian look. Backpack. New backpack. Very reminiscent of like a Rogue One backpack or an elevated Stormtrooper or something like that. And it's got the detachable periscoping camera there. Get good articulation all over. So, really cool. Got some canisters back there. Fits in nicely there. So you kind of pull like a little bit of a Boba Fett, and then you got a hook for the pike there. So overall pretty sick, and it fits in pretty decent. Not super snug, but all right. Different brown than the tans that we got there, the sand tan. So pretty good. And how could I forget? Plug in this cord. And the cable attaches to the helmet and the pack. As if he didn't have enough going on, but of course that'll be better once you have them covered. Got some new Tekko Kagi iron bear claws that are sick, so they're not the same ones that nunchucks have, and they fit much nicer on the hand. Maybe that's why we went with a new mold. There are so props to the team, Lenny, and so forth, but these are crazy good accessories. Little warpage on some of this. I guess you can just kind of mess around with it there, but I mean, otherwise they look really good. And I like the black. It's very shiny. Just nice job there. Other new weapon we got, Clam Buchanan, axe pike. Basically the Scorpion prod that you got there. So a little bit of wiring paint. Yeah, it's got some electricity for prodding. And good quality too. Not gummy at all. Here lies the problem. I love alley vipers, but not enough to want their weapons. I've replaced most of them, and I've got like 6 alley vipers, and they have all gridiron stuff. But yep, Puff Adder, compact submachine gun, and the harpoon grappling gun. But it does have string with it, so I mean, you guys know how that works. We can pull this out and use it, but okay. Well, I mean, that's definitely an adjustment, and they're good quality. Nothing's gummy there, so not the greatest guns. If we had some new guns or just different ones, I might have raised the score a little bit more. But you're not here for the Desert Scorpion. You're here for the Desert Scorpion, and it's mutated, and it's beautiful, and it's everything we've ever wanted and imagined, and just the paint and detail is phenomenal, and it might be the best pet we've had in the line, which says a lot because there have been a lot of pets, and the articulation on the tail is good. On the body, it's a complete shell, which is fine. You don't really have, shell is not going to articulate unless it's snapped in half. Doesn't look like the mouth has any articulation, that little xenomorph mouth, but yeah, look at that, eyes light up. And the claws have a little bit of articulation, but it's not too much, but I think it's fine. It's not a lobster or anything, but look at the detail on this thing. It is tremendous. Yeah, so cool that it was a subject by Dr. Mindbender, and hopefully we'll see more of the story later on. But the things people have been doing, some of the photography, throwing them on vamps as an attack, and law strikers and stuff, just a lot of fun. You can get it to stand on its 8 legs too. It takes a little bit of work, but mostly scorpions are very low to the ground anyway, so I think it's fine. And of course the arms articulate. There's no elbow articulation, but the claw does have that wrist swivel and everything. Yeah, we don't talk about the articulation for the figures on this video, but we will for the pets. Pets are more important. Be kind to pets. But yeah, you would probably have it down lower and maybe have these legs down, but you can kind of mess around however you want, and it's just going to be a lot of fun to pose. I almost pulled some pranks here at the fair, and I was like, nah, I don't want to lose this thing. I'd be so sad. Although buying another Desert Scorpion wouldn't be a bad thing. I'm going to keep him as a character. Are you army building to get more scorpions? Are you making Desert Scorpion a builder? I just think with that face sculpt, I'm like, nah, it's going to kind of like Saw Viper for me. One and done, save a little money, but this thing is beautiful. Whiskey time. Paint wash is amazing. 28 points of articulation. SKRP 10N25 is a 5 out of 5. But how's his master? He's pretty damn great as well. Because of the 2 Alley Viper guns, I'm going to detract a little bit of the score on just the Desert Scorpion soldier alone. I'll go 4.25 for him, but a 5 out of 5 for the Scorpion. So that makes like a 4. Man, that's like a 4.5-4.75. Yeah, maybe he doesn't belong this low on the list at number 4, but we'll see. How about we see who's next and decide then? So as of now, I'm taking that 4 away and putting a question mark. Let's determine who wins this battle in the next round. Ahem. Guys, and not every day you get a cameo from, Matt Murdock and Frank Castle. And I get it. The coffee is everything, guys. There's a promotion there. But let's get back to work. But really, though, the Legacy Police Officer, ESU Emergency Services Unit, freaking fantastic. And there's a reason why they wound up 3 or 4 on this list. But that said, are they really worthy of being in the top 3, or is it more of a hype thing because of the way this was delivered and not delivered and teased and not, it just shadow dropped, but then didn't shadow drop, and then came out properly and didn't. The whole thing was fun. It was fun to cover. And oh man, these are just good figures. besides this visor, which we'll talk about. Yeah, it just doesn't want to go up. But these guys are good, and you need 2. Maybe you need 17, depending on your display. But so many options, so many variables. I love the Firefighter. The Legacy Firefighter was awesome, and the Police is just a step higher than that. Is it better than the Desert Scorpion? It's apples and oranges, but the impact of the Legacy Police Officer and the GIJoe Classified line and being able, just being multi-purposeful in toys is really what makes this a top tier item. Aesthetically, they're great, but again, just so much use in so many lines from Marvel Legends, even background characters for your McFarlane DC multiverse. To save lots and lots of time, I can just do this since I bought 2, but these are really good faces. Really good faces. I like the African American face a lot more. I feel like that's why he was front and center. It's just an awesome modern look. I mean, look, I'm working a state fair. There's lots of cops and they look a lot like this. And then this is your kind of classic cop, I guess. You know, this is me with blue eyes working a central casting gig. And then I said, nah, I'm not shaving. But yeah, clean cut. Also much easier to review when you get 2, because then I'll have to go through all the faces and all the stuff that goes on and flip them and flop them. But you get your patrol cap, those same similar shooter kind of glasses we had on Mercer. Got the flare gun, an essential part of every, no, it doesn't belong, but it's colorful and cute. You've got your M1911 semi-automatic, fits in the holster. Rain poncho, nice cloth goods, similar to what we got with the, was it the infantry soldier that had it? Stuff keeps falling too. You can use the walkie, does pop off. Law and Order, right? Pretty much on the vest there. Got the police shield. You got these hooks for the baton, I believe. And you get your taser. As you can see, it's another great performance by the Outback Buck. Yeah, Outback Buck is like the new Vulcan Buck for G.I. Joe. We're going to use it a lot. So, similar there. Got the state issue on the gloves there. And then this riot shield is freaking awesome. All the scratches there. Plexiglass. Plastic. Yeah, looking good. Everything is awesome. This figure is tremendous. Again, another figure, if you said, this is my figure of the year, I would not complain because of the various use you can use. And you got flashlight sculpted on, doesn't come out. These cuffs don't come on. But we've got other cuffs that they go flying. Remember I lost Law and Order's cuffs? Same ones. So, not so gummy. You know, and you want like a little lighter. It's not quite a PVC, but you don't want anything too gummy or too hard because you don't want it to snap. So good stuff there. And the only thing is they just don't fit in great in here. They just go flying. So it's there for now. It's there in the review. Okay, we talked about that riot helmet. And yeah, it almost wants to like pop off, but you gotta like almost lift it over the ridge. And otherwise it's not bad. I mean, the functionality is not easy, and it's gonna like almost feels like it's gonna chip over time if you do it too much. So, but I kind of like it like this. See, it's got a little bit of chipped edges there already. But the good thing I got 2. We're missing donuts, but we're not missing the cup of Joe. So fun nod there. And then we got a Fostech Gen 2 short barrel shotgun. Maybe a little controversial to include with the officer instead of just sidearms, but removable drum barrel there. One issue I have is I've had the cups and the hands so long that it stretched out the hands. That's why not getting multiple hands is really impactful, but somehow the taser will still go. Almost forgot to show the Del High Hill patch there. I don't know if that's a nod to anything in G.I. Joe. You can let me know in the comments below. So how good of the Legacy LSU. Whew, man. I almost want to tie. I almost want to tie. What did I give Desert Score? 4.5-4.75? I mean, these are awesome. This is not easy for me. I think the impact of it was superior. 5, and they were plentiful. You can get as many. We thought maybe these sell out and become a problem. That wasn't an issue there. I'm going to go 4.5-4.75. I'm sorry, guys. It's a whiskey tie score, but I'll keep them at 3 just because the impact of the Legacy police officer was just more than the Desert Scorpion. The Scorpion's awesome. It's a continuation of a great figure with pet, but just, we talked about this on multiple episodes. We did a whole episode on it. It was just an important piece of the action figure community, period. So congrats to the Legacy Popo. Some of you guys are going to have this really high or really low, depending on how you feel about things. But yeah, top 3 for the Legacy Police Officer Emergency Services Unit. And then there were 2. Oh man. Yeah, I stated the obvious from the beginning. It's in the thumbnail. It's in the title. And you're 40 minutes in this video and you waited for the main event of Wrestle Dream this long. So if you're sticking with me this long, please like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I usually do that at the end of the video, but this is going to be one of my longest videos in a long time, of all time. So I really appreciate it. It is a month full of toys. So if you made it this far, smooches big time. So Pythona versus Budo. This one was tough. You might have known that I had Pythona in hand. I was probably one of the first to have it, if not the first media partner, since I went to the media breakfast there at Comic-Con. And she is the real freaking deal. I mean, she was my pre-choice for number 1 and number 1 of the year based on that in-hand look. But now that the coast is clear and Hotel Con is coming to a close, she will have to settle for number 2. Or is it 1B? We'll figure it out. For now, she's 2. I ain't gonna put you through what I just did. Anyway, number 172 in the line, the Cobra Law, Messenger, and Emissary of King Globulus is the New York Comic-Con 2025 exclusive. Yeah, the classified version of the Stealthy Assassin is an astonishing blend of cartoon, movie, and energon. All the accessories are cartoon, movie inspired, and we'll get into those, but what a sculpt. How beautiful is this look? I don't know how she's number 2. She could just be figure of the year. And just the stoic face, very pretty, but it's this insanely awesome hissing face that takes the cake for me. They're both cool with the neon fangs and earrings and all the way going down. But yeah, she's got 2 sets of tails, as you can see. The long one, they articulate, they pop out. You can make her bald and all that stuff. The gorgeously grotesque raspberry grape scaling and detail all over the body is just one of a kind. And that's why I was so taken aback when I had her in hand at the Hasbro breakfast. Just unbelievable. Another look is the cape, and it scales so well. And it has scaling itself. Look at that detail there. Very snake-like. And how do we get away with this? Not Hoodie Coco. I think I asked Tony that when I first saw him at the breakfast, and that was a fun one. But yeah, look at this. This is so cool. And you got it's a tatter of ghoulish holes in there. And look at the feet. And we even got like feet like that, like really grotesque Mass Effectian feet. She's a Mass Effect-like character. This is very Cosmic Legions of GIJoe Classified, but they're really doing it all. And I mean, this is damn perfection. How's she number 2, yo? So in addition to C-grips and punchies, got 2 sets of extra nails here, mutated grain nails, and then this other one with a very smoky evaporation on it, but just demonic and sick. So I'll go quick over the articulation. Does have butterflies, double elbow joints on a lady. How about that? Again, look at the detail and the scaling. Ab crunch is fair but not fantastic, and head tilt's pretty good. It's up and down. So new buck, new body, new mold. I mean, if this was the Baroness mold, you can let me know, but with all the scaling, there's just no way. Maybe they took some of the hints from the Baroness and the Rattler and then just formed this, but look at all the different rips in there and the skin underneath. Full body twist. Make sure you look down that way. So you get that half cut. And that actually doesn't go 360, but it tilts pretty much side to side. So not a brutal chest cut there, Mark Webber. Upper thigh. Of course, double knees. No ankle, but you do have an ankle rocker, and it does go 360, but no ankle swivel. So that's the only thing missing. Of course, no toe articulation. We don't really do that in classified just yet. And there's their fisties. That about covers it. Try to run through some of these accessories really quickly, and we got these twin snake blade thingies. Let's get the translucent laser blade, really well crafted. We got a face hugger, and it does articulate too, which is a really nice bonus. Some scaling. And since it's Pythona versus Budo, Pythona's getting the first hit and just some other zany stuff. Pythona was throwing these like bombs in GIJoe the movie. And you got this closed clamshell thing, tongue sticking out, just wild. Then this other like conch clamshell thing with the inside the mouth. Doesn't really articulate, but it's really good. And then lastly, the thing I showed against Budo is a bunch of snakes, almost like electric eels. Lots of detail there, eyes, mouth, and you wrap it around her arm, kind of like Baroness's snakes that she first came out with in Classified. And then you guys in the comments can let me know what this is, but I'm sure it's from the movie, I just can't remember. A big ruby thing. And we couldn't go without having Pythona next to her Cobra compatriots Nemesis, Immortal, and once a man Cobra Commander. Wish I had them in hand, but pictures will have to do. Whiskey time. Oh man, I don't know how I'm going less than a 5, but I'm gonna go 4.75 only because some of the accessories don't really fit in her grasps. They're kind of just playthings, and like, I don't know, they seem kind of small to surround her with, but she is freaking phenomenal. Pythona's just freaking sick. And finally, it's number 1 for now. GIJoe, aka Budo. And he's the figure of the year. He's beating out Pythona, so raising the stakes. Incredible value. I mean, this is what it really came down to. I had Pythona, again, locked in, but then I just thought of how much came with Budo for the price tag and the value compared to Pythona and compared to everyone else on this list. There's just so many different looks, and you can pose 2 grunts next to it and have these samurais next to the tactical GIJoe. So it's really hard to beat that. Not saying it's better than Crystal Ball or Heavy Duty or anybody like that yet. I mean, Xandar is being thrown up there. There's so many great figures this year. It's unbelievable. I know Law and Order gets a lot of love and so forth. So it'll be a fun video. Of course, I don't have the Dire Wolf set with Ghost Viper. It's on pre-order. I did the Walmarts in Texas and the Walmarts in California, as far as I know, don't have it. They're just randomly popping up everywhere. I did order a couple, but they're on pre-order and they're going to ship to mi casa when I leave Texas, which is good. I have something to look forward to. And also, there was no way I was shipping my snake armor to Dallas. That thing's massive, and I'd have to pay for more luggage and all that. So yeah, I will mess with the snake armor and the dire wolves and whatever else we get by then. Anyway, let's mess with Budo. Let's see if he lasts number 1 on this incredible ranking list. We'll just start off with the samurai look, the classic samurai look. There's 2 sets of removable samurai body armor and shoulder pauldrons, and it's insane. And the timing of this figure couldn't come at a better time. Since I'm playing Ghosts of Yote, hell, I got it right here. Play that game, you'll see a bunch of these coming at you, that's for sure. Figure comes with 2 sets of removable gauntlet armor. Kind of close-ups right there. He's got the removable belt, crotch armor pieces. Yeah, this scabbard is pretty cool. Does tend to get loose a little bit, so not perfect. This peg doesn't lock in that good, but it's fine. I mean, it's not the worst in the world. As far as I know, everything is all new on Budo. And I'm honestly just noticing this. Just so much going on that you get 2 sheaths there on the side for his katana and his toki. It's funny how you can hide the holsters underneath the tactical version. Now we kind of have the Action Force Valiverse problem with the vests with these holes. Kind of dealt with that with tripwire, but it's not bad. A little better than Action Force in terms of that. Look at the look. That is freaking badass. Of course, all this stuff's removable. This is called a Kabuto helmet. Of course, there's a modern tactical helmet because he's got the headpiece, so it looks a little ridiculous with the classic armor, but just in case you wanted to know. Just a great face sculpt here. Miyamoto Musashi, Wandering Samurai, totally. Yo, tactical Budo is so dope. And I messed up and put the old samurai shin guards on him because I forgot to put them on the other set. But this is really tactical Budo. At least now you see the shin guards. Look how sick this is. And you got the Takara Joe Japanese toy packaging logo there. Man, this is freaking badass. Kind of like a Japanese Wardlow. Looks good though. High on the sides. So crazy. And then this armor, the modern day armor, Lenny's choice was inspired by Japanese SWAT, he was saying in previous fan streams. You get the name there, GIJoe Kyle. And you get that like split mail he was talking about. But Lenny still wanted to honor the legacy of the grandfather's armor, so just great sculpting detail, textures all over this armor, the other armor as we've shown. And there's how he looks with the modern tactical helmet. And like again, that mouthpiece, I didn't even notice that till I had the figure in hand, just crazy. This is a softer PVC, but that way it has sharp points. You know, you got to do that with kids around, and then the pieces won't break either. So crazy detail on all the sides, great paint. I put the Shmog there. You can have the straw rain cape, also known as a Mino there. I don't know how it looks with the tactical, but to me it's pretty fine. And there's also another layer here, like a protective necklace from beheadings, but you can tuck that underneath either this armor or the other one, which is probably preferred, but I just want to show you what it looks like. As for weapons, of course, we showed you Dusty's Grot B bullpup. This thing tends to flick out, the bipod that is, but it's okay. Comes with 3 swords. Katana is the medium one in the middle. It's got some nice ridges to it. You got the Tanto, which is the Wakizashi on the left, that small one. And then of course the big Nodachi longsword. Having fun with all these weapons and Ghosts of Yote. On the modern armor, you got the big scabbard for the Nodachi, and then a medium scabbard for the katana. The small one doesn't really come with it, but it does fit in the sheaths that come with the classic armor. And finally, here's a look at the long hair face with scarf, modern tactical armor, and so forth. Man, so many looks, so many things, so much value. Whiskey time, I'm just going 4.75-5, just an edge better than Pythona because of value. Pythona might be a better figure, but without all the different looks, all the stuff going on, just awesome. And in these days and times of rising prices, we have to place value over everything, and Budo wins that battle. Well, guys, that's going to do it for the newest GIJoe Classified ranking and review. Hope you enjoyed it. Lots of deluxe sets, lots of value, lots of great releases in the month. And this doesn't even cover everything, but I did my best to keep it as concise and as short as possible. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your rankings were of the 7. Drop that in the comments below. And do you have a figure of the year choice out of these 7 so far, or does nothing touch your crystal balls or your heavy duties? Yeah, potty noises. But anyway, it's getting late over here. I'm out of here for a toy kind of mood. I'm Trav Moody. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave a comment. Till then, I'll catch you in the toy aisle, all right? Peace.